Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Lewis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. And with me today is John McTavish from the Pastania Studio. How you doing, John?
Good, man. We're recording on a Tuesday and Mondays just to let people behind the curtain. So I'm not distracted by some terrible Monday Night Football, which is nice.
Whatever sport is being played on a Tuesday, I think they're playing basketball at this time of year. So,
Yeah, that's not a sport I ever got
yeah.
into. I know it's huge for viewership, but I just don't get it. I don't, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So today we are talking about the Room 101, the Big Payback 70S. I'm going to classify this cigar as a double Churchill 7x70. I don't know what the proper term is for this cigar, the Cuban term for
Double
it, but
double Gordo, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It comes out of the SDG Danley factory in Honduras. Wrapper is Honduran Alancho San Agustin. Binder's Connecticut broadly. Filler is Nicaragua, Honduras, and the Dominican Republic. Blended by Matt Booth. Price point is $8.99, and the cigar was released in June of 2023. And I apologize not for not having a banana for scale on this, so you can't really get the sense of the size of this cigar. But if you go to the website and look at the pictures in the review, you will get to see the cigar in the scale of our fingers or whatever holding the cigar. So that will be the best way to do that. But here it looks kind of tame, but trust me, it was anything but tame. All right, John, what were your thoughts on this cigar?
It's big. It's real big. And I threw my hat into the ring here because I was like, I had some time in the cycle. I'm not normally a big ring gauge guy, but I like Boofy, and I'm like, sure, I'll review it. I will say that I don't think you can really blend a complex cigar in a ring gauge this size. I think it's just too much tobacco. But my experience was it wasn't bad. The first and second thirds for me were really what I would classify as soft, but I think you have to in a cigar this size. So I did get some tobacco, some coffee, some wood, creamy sweetness, little bit of earth, a little, but like all of that was, really at the light plus level for the first third. Second third was kind of creamy tobacco and earth, a little bit of tannins, some mild graham cracker. But again, like really light. The cigar kind of started to go off the rails a little bit in the bottom of the second third for me, where a little bit of char developed. It kind of went away, and then it came back in the last third, which is a bit of a drag because it's a long smoking experience, and I'll get into that later. But it started out creamy wood and earth in the last third, and then char started to come through, and then that sort of built up where it became, there was some spices and some tannic wood in there, but the combination of earth and the acrid char kind of made that last third pretty unpleasant to smoke. And when that last third, I think amounted to, I want to say like an hour and 20 minutes of
Yeah.
smoking time. That's a long time to sit and sort of push through an unpleasant smoking experience. Um, Burn was pretty good. I only had to do a touch up in the last third. There was waviness kind of throughout the entire experience, but I didn't have to touch it up until that last third. Curiously, the draw was a bit on the snug side, and based on our scale, we don't normalize that for the cigar size. But what I will say is, I'm really glad that it is on the snug side because too often I think on the big ring gauge stuff they're actually like way on the open side, and that makes for an extremely unpleasant smoking experience. So I think they actually got the draw bang on for me. If I was rating it based on ring gauge, this would be a perfect draw to me. All of that to say, is a pretty average experience. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, just to kind of comment, I have a slightly tight draw on mine as well, but I did write in the
Yeah,
review as well. Like for a cigar this size, I want a slightly snug draw over an open
yeah,
draw because
oh yeah,
you you will have a bad time with a large ring gauge cigar with an open draw because it's going to burn
it's
fast, or you're just not
it's
going to be able to consume that
miserable.
much smoke that's coming through that cigar, and it would
Yeah,
be a horrible time. But yeah,
horrible.
they definitely erred on the correct side here.
Yep.
For me, the cigar started with a very mild combination of cedar and light earth. Got some mustiness of black pepper that joined in pretty quickly. Cedar gained a toast note near the end of the third, and then the second third saw the flavor profile become a little bit fuller. Final third saw the toast level and the earth become pretty heavy, and a vegetal bitterness kind of joined the profile as well. Cigar started at mild medium strength, kind of built up near full at the end. So definitely an experience that kind of as you smoked it along. But average flavor profile throughout, had a core set of basic flavors, some slight transitioning, but nothing that was really exciting. And the strength was kind of getting to me a bit at the end. Um, the format's not something I'm going to come back to, but price point is low. I smoked it for 4 hours and 25 minutes. So if you like large ring gauge cigars, um, and you find the flavor profile here enjoyable, then you're going to get a ton of value out of it for the smoky time. So definitely well worth it in that aspect, but it's just not a cigar for me. I want to just try it, see what it was like, get a feel for it. But yeah, like John said, it's just, you know, even for an average flavor profile, it's just way too long to kind of sit through that and kind of go for it. There really needs to be something going for it, and I just haven't found that in the large format cigars at all. So yeah. All right, getting to the scores, we're going to start at the top with me at 5.5, and John gave it a 5 even. My 5.5 matched up well. Average flavor profile throughout. Very good construction. Slightly wavy burn. Never needed to touch it up. Draw was slightly tighter than I prefer, but like I said, that's probably the correct way to go about it on this one. So no complaints in regards to construction for the cigar. Gets it in that mid 5 point scale. Not something I'm going to come back to. All right, John, 5 even.
Yeah, that matches up well. It's really that last third that kind of tanks the flavor profile. Like I said, char for 20 minutes is one thing. Char for
An
an
hour and
hour is
20.
just. I mean, it's like, what did I do to you, and how can I apologize?
Yeah.
As you said with the draw, unfortunately, I had to dock it, but to me, they nailed it. That's where the draw should be. That it seems like they've intentionally done that, and they obviously know their market and have done that well. So that does unfortunately hold the score back a little bit. But to me, a 5 absolutely matches up well. It's definitely not something I would return to. It's uncomfortable to smoke. I got 4 hours and 2 minutes. If you're the kind of person that would want to smoke for a golf game, or if you want to watch 1.5 football games, which is what I did, um, then that's probably the cigar for you. But I can't see myself returning to that, even though the price point is actually quite attractive.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that people that typically smoke this cigar, it's a size cigar, are usually not
Yeah,
slow smokers. They're probably
yeah,
smoking pretty fast, so they're getting through it in, their hour and a half or 2 hours. Um, I don't know, I was talking to somebody about it. I can't remember who it was, and they said they smoked the cigar as well, but they got much shorter smoking time. So I think it's just a different method of smoking that some people have. Um, you know, we're doing reviews, so we're very focused on our draws and all that stuff and picking
yeah.
out flavors and stuff like that. So I guess maybe if we're doing something else and not focus on the cigar, maybe it goes by a lot faster or something like that. But just yeah, it was a commitment, and it didn't, it wasn't something where I was like, at the end I was like, I'm glad I did that or anything like that. It was just like, this is why I don't do this on a regular basis, and probably why I won't do this again for probably a year or two. So, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I think that.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, go ahead. I was just saying if you had
I
anything
think
else.
I've had conversations with other cigar smokers about this in the past, and like you said, there's people out there that just smoke way faster. In fact, I know that there's people out there that probably smoke this the same rate as a robusto, so like hour 20, hour 30, which to me is like absolutely fucking bananas.
Yeah,
But there's a segment that does, and the other thing is that I'm 5'9", 170 pounds. I think this segment of cigar smoker that tends to go for the ring gauge like this is like 6'4", 6'5", 360 pounds, 380 pounds, 410 pounds. So, these guys have giant ass hands, giant ass heads, and this is essentially Robusto to them. Like
yeah.
it's not an unusual size for them. So there is a market for that. And I know that when I was doing retail, big ring gauge stuff flew off the shelves, much to my chagrin. So I'm sure at $8.99, they're going to have a winner on their hands.
Yeah. All right. Wherever you're catching this video, be sure to like and subscribe, but check out the full written review on our OnlyFans page. You can all follow us on all your social media channels, and catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Matt's going to get some payback for this one.